NoDQ.com.
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 NoDQ.com. NoDQ.com.
Mr. Clean gets rid of dirt and grime and grease in just a minute. Mr. Clean will clean your whole house and everything that's in it. Mr. Clean, Mr. Clean, Mr. Clean.
We are just over a week away from Title Haunt, NoDQ CAW's next mega event, which takes place on Friday, October 22nd. Mr. Clean will challenge Jason Voorhees for the NoDQ interactive title in what is being dubbed the 3 stages of hell. They will compete in 3 separate matches, but tonight, Mr. Clean has challenged a competitor that Jason Voorhees has never defeated. Mr. Clean is going to have his hands full with Frankenstein here tonight. We don't know much about Jason's status following the incident at NoDQ CAW's main event last Friday the 13th, when Mr. Clean threw Jason into a flaming table following his loss of the interactive title to Jason. Wherever Jason is, I'm sure you'll be rooting for his old nemesis Frankenstein in this match. Mr. Clean, believe it or not, he made this challenge to Frankenstein. Mr. Clean, he's so confident that he feels that he can defeat the guy that Jason Voorhees was never able to defeat. But Mr. Clean, he may regret this one. Frankenstein just choking the life out of Mr. Clean. Frankenstein, he's a powerhouse. He held that NoDQ CAW title for several months, and he dominated everybody in his path. And tonight, it's Frankenstein one-on-one with Mr. Clean here. And we're just counting down the days until Title Haunt, Friday, October 27th. Mr. Clean, he's got his rematch clause, and he will challenge Jason Voorhees in not 1, not 2, but 3 separate matches in one night. 3 stages of hell, and the fans will get to pick the match types. Mr. Clean out with a series of punches. He's actually got some momentum here on Frankenstein. Mr. Clean out with another finger poke. Granted, that momentum, he's getting it with a lot of dirty tactics, but you come to expect that from Mr. Clean. He is the dirtiest player in the game. He likes to fight clean, but sometimes he has to fight dirty. Frankenstein out with that clothesline to the back of the head. Frankenstein, he picks up Mr. Clean. Mr. Clean, he shoves him away. Mr. Clean goes for that punch. And wait, Mr. Clean up on top with a double axe handle. And he just chopped down the big redwood. Mr. Clean, what can he do to NoDQ CAW's #1 giant? Wait a minute, Frankenstein now. Frankenstein drops Mr. Clean with that scorpion death drop. Frankenstein now. Will he make short work of Mr. Clean here? He sends Mr. Clean in. There's a big boot, but no, Mr. Clean blocks the big boot. And there's a low blow. Vintage Mr. Clean there. Who will ever forget what Mr. Clean did? Oh, wait a minute, Mr. Clean going for the clean cut, but Frankenstein counters it. Who will ever forget when Mr. Clean threw Jason through that flaming table? A sore loser, Mr. Clean, he lost the NoDQ interactive title. And he responded by putting Jason through that flaming table. Wait a minute. Speaking of paying a price here, Frankenstein just choke slams Mr. Clean, nearly breaking the man in half. Frankenstein, he makes the cover onto the icon. Could this be it? And no, Mr. Clean kicks out at 2. Just barely though. Mr. Clean with a sweep. Not enough to take Frankenstein down, but there's a heart attack. And that does take Frankenstein down. Mr. Clean with a bulldog. Mr. Clean stomping away Frankenstein. Frankenstein back up to his feet, goes for a clothesline, he misses. And Mr. Clean sweeps out Frankenstein. Wait a minute, Mr. Clean goes for that cleaning press. But Frankenstein moves out of the way. Mr. Clean going for the springboard cleaning press. Wait a minute, Frankenstein throws Mr. Clean in, but Mr. Clean stops himself at the last second. Mr. Clean, he sends Frankenstein back into the ring. Mr. Clean out. Wait a minute, there's the clean cut. Mr. Clean hits the clean cut on Frankenstein. And now Mr. Clean, wait a minute, he's going for the cleaning press. Could this be it? Wait a minute. That's Jason Voorhees music. Jason, here he comes. He's making his way down to ringside here. Jason, looking to get revenge. The lights have gone out in this arena. And wait a minute. The lights have gone back on, and the Hell in a Cell is lowered here. Frankenstein and Mr. Clean on top of the cell. Frankenstein and Jason, they've been arch rivals. But look at this, they're working together here. They pick up Mr. Clean, and a double choke slam. Mr. Clean just got double choke slammed through that Hell in a Cell. Jason sending a message to Mr. Clean here.